we're basically your guitar, bass, drums, vocals kind of band. I mean, not in that order necessarily. I don't think there's one instrument in the band that kind of, you know, stands out other than, you know, well, the vocals are very important.
Let's hope so. Well, no, I think when you're a local band, you don't have the opportunity to go pick and choose any producer you want, you know, who you think is, you know, you can't go out, you're Brian Eno or something. And to get that live sound, I think that's pretty much what everyone wants, unless you want to be Steely Dan. But
not necessarily. I think some groups really go in, I mean, if they're not a performing band a lot, you know, if they're just trying to get a studio project, they go in not really knowing what they want, you know, and they could come out with something that sounds very plain, very studio-ish, maybe, you know, just doesn't have that live, energetic feel, which we're trying to get.
That goosebumps.
The thing that we liked, we're working with a guy named Grant Austin, and the last 3 years he's been working in Switzerland. We liked Grant because he, prior to becoming a studio engineer, he was a live sound engineer. And we definitely wanted a live feel to our album, so. Nobody has been able to say you sound like the next U2, you sound like the next NXS or whatever, you know. We've
I've heard like X2C, and then
we've got some of our songs have even a country feel to them, if you want to call it country.
But we're not an REM ripoff, which is good.
Yeah, well, actually, that's kind of what's hurting the Chicago scene a little bit. A lot of the bands coming out have got REM on their minds or something, and they're all real 60s oriented, which is cool music, but if too many people are doing it, nobody's going to really benefit from it. Our stuff has nothing to do with the 60s.
And if you do it really well, I mean, if you do it
there
well,
you go. If you're a good band, you're a good band. I mean,
that is the truth of it. You know, if you're good and if you're tight and your music's from the heart, I think you can't go wrong.
Really,
that's where it's at. That's where we try to come from. I think that's one of the best part about at least our live shows. You know, is it comes from the heart. You know, we're trying to play what we're feeling about, and hopefully we can convey that to the audience. That's our goal, especially as songwriters.
Definitely. Too many bands nowadays, they're writing...
Nowadays?
Well, maybe not nowadays. I guess there's trends all the time in music, and what we're trying to convey to our audience, number one, is that we're definitely not one of the bands that seem very unapproachable and very, you know, there's us, and then there's our audience. It is a diversified kind of pop sound. It's not straight ahead rock all the time. It's not straight ahead dance all the time. It's just not straight ahead, I guess, is the best way to say it. And we felt that these 10 songs kind of best showed the range, I guess.
Variety.
Yeah, the range or variety. Either word is good. Of our music. So that it was tough, definitely tough. And since the project is taking longer than we originally thought it was, which happens, we have come up with some songs that we think will be good songs, and you know, you never know. These are songs that we've been playing for a long, long time. Some of the ones that are on the record have been like some of the first songs that we wrote as a group. 3 or 4 of them were on our first demo that we did at the Short Order Recorder about 2 years ago, and we're still playing them. I think what would make Chicago better is if we kind of teamed up and like did things as, you know, as a city instead of trying to, you know, struggle against each other. It would be so much easier if we could all have like a big concert promoting local bands or something, or just something that would show the rest of the country that there is some serious talent in Chicago. Because I don't know, the music industry seems to be taking Chicago more seriously, signing more bands. The Tammy shows, the Color Tones, the Way Moves, they're all getting signed out of Chicago. It seems like they're moving in and they're taking a closer look. And the thing about Chicago is the listening audience is what hurts the scene. If it seems like things in LA and New York, the trends and the hot music, they don't seem to catch on here in Chicago until after the scene has probably died on the coasts. And if we could just, you know, be more open-minded and catch up with ourselves, I think, you know, the bands would pop up here a lot quicker.